The farther you see, the better your decision become. Which is why when you're setting goals, most people set 1-year goals. Your goal should be set based on the end of your life. That when I am standing in front of God, my goal, the Bible has said that the goal is to hear, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." If that is your vision, then that will determine the types of decisions that you are making today. That will determine the types of questions and the type of goals you are setting today. Because now you're asking yourself, what will make God say on the last day, "Well done, good and faithful servant"? Proverbs 8 verse 1. Because Solomon is like, it's not like the solution does not exist. It's that most people are not using it. The solution is speaking, but nobody is listening. It's even my sons, the future leaders of Israel, they are acting like they can't hear. So in verse 1, Solomon is like, does not wisdom cry out and understanding lift up her voice? Solomon is asking a question because questions are supposed to trigger curiosity. They're supposed to help clarify unclear things. So it's like, because when you look at that question, it's like he's questioning the volume of wisdom's voice. Does not wisdom cry out and understanding lift up her voice? So it's like, is the volume not loud enough? Is she not speaking loud enough? It's like when you're at a party and they're like, mic check, can you hear me? Verse 2 then goes on to something very interesting. It's like, remember, Solomon is trying to figure out, like, is the solution not working here? Like, what's going on? So number 1, we have sound check. Verse 2 is like, where is wisdom actually speaking? Where? What's her location? Verse 2 says she takes her stand on the top of the high hill beside the way where the paths meet. This is a very deep verse, guys. It looks very simple on the surface, but it's a very, very deep verse. This shows the strategic positioning from wisdom for maximum results. She found a spot where people are coming from different locations and directions. It says she stood beside the way where the paths meet. So think of an intersection, like a junction. Think of an airport. An airport is a location where people from different parts of the world are all intersecting into one location. Why has she chosen that strategic location? They're coming from different parts. It means that there are different options. There are different choices that need to be made. And she has stood at that intersection, at the crossroads, because she knows that once you take a path, you are going down that path. She's speaking loud at this particular junction to ensure that you don't miss it, that you make the right decision. She wants to speak to people who are at the crossroads in their life, people who are confused because there are many options in front of them and they are not sure which path to take, which decision to make. But guess what it says? Wisdom did not just stand at the intersection. She climbed the high hill. Imagine the effort it would have taken wisdom to climb and to now take her stand. So she has taken her stand in a position where she had an elevated view to see everyone's destination, everyone's destiny. Where does this path lead to that you cannot see right now? Because the farther you see in life, the better your decision making becomes. The farther you see, the better your decision making becomes. Let me give you an example. When God gave Pharaoh a dream, that dream gave Pharaoh insight for 14 years into the future. And because of that, guess what happened? When there was a surplus, they made better decisions compared to other nations. When there was a surplus, they did not finish everything that they had harvested. They saved some for the rainy season because they already knew that a rainy season was coming. For the other nations who were seeing one season ahead or 1 year ahead, they couldn't make the same types of decisions that Egypt made at that time. The farther you see, the better your decision become. Which is why when you are setting goals, most people set 1-year goals. Your goal should be set based on the end of your life. That when I am standing in front of God, my goal, the Bible has said that the goal is to hear, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." If that is your vision, then that will determine the types of decisions that you are making today. That will determine the types of questions and the type of goals you are setting today. Because now you're asking yourself, what would make God say on the last day, "Well done, good and faithful servant"? We are limited in our thinking. Think of the countries like China have 200-year plans. That's why when you see the way they move is different from other nations who don't even have a vision or who just have 4-year visions. Because when you have a democracy, your vision changes every 4 to 8 years depending on who the president is, depending on if the party changes. Which is why a lot of countries are already doomed, because if you're having to change your vision every 4 to 8 years, your decision making will always change. It is not aligned with the North Pole. Same way with choosing. That's why China is prepared. They see this tariff thing and they're like, whoa, we already sort of knew that this would happen, we're prepared for it. When you don't have, we're not seeing far enough, you're not going to be prepared for the present. You will make mistakes. Same thing with who you're going to get married to. A lot of people just see, oh, I like this person, they look good, they'll be good for the next 1 year. Have you thought of the rest of your life? When you know where you are heading, which is why I'm an advocate that before you get married, you must know your purpose. Single people, you must discover your purpose first before marriage. Because when you know where you are heading, 95% of your options of those who will distract you are automatically cancelled. All those girls or guys that would have distracted you, just having a conversation with them will reveal that we're not aligned. We're not in agreement. Can two work together unless they agree? Just a conversation, you'll be like, no. You're heading in a different direction. Which is why, a lot of people struggle, because it's like when you're traveling and you have connecting flights. A lot of people make decisions based on the fact that we are on the same plane right now, but they don't realize that their destinations are different. The fact that we took off from the same place doesn't mean that we're heading in the same direction. The fact that we took off from the same place doesn't mean that we're heading to the same destination, because there are people who will stop over. There are people who have connecting flights. And so what people do is when they get on the same flight, when they are taking off, they make permanent decisions, not realizing that it's a temporary trip. This person is still going to drop off when they get to another destination. Meanwhile, you are going to stay on the plane to head to the final destination. So you need to know where you are heading. When you're about to partner someone, where are you heading as well? Before we now make the decision that we're meant to go on this journey together. It's the same with health. One of the reasons, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do all those things. Number one, because I'm a Christian and I don't believe that you should. But at the same time, I have a vision that at the end of my life, I want to donate my organs to people who do not have, or people who are struggling in that area. I don't want to go to the grave with healthy organs. I want to donate my organs to people who are less privileged in that area or need it. And so because that is my end goal, there are some things that I cannot do today. I cannot drink alcohol because alcohol damages my liver. I cannot smoke because smoking damages my lungs. The person who I would want to donate it to will not be able to use it. It is going to negate the purpose for why I'm doing what I'm doing. Same with your finances. If you know that you want to be financially free by the time you are age 40, it shapes your decision making from when you are a teenager. So as parents, we need to guide our children, help them make these decisions, help them think far early on. A lot of people always question, how do I get discipline? Discipline is not a product of self-effort. Discipline is a product of having the right vision. The Bible says where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. Where there is no vision, the people lack discipline. The solution or the key to having discipline is to have the right vision. Your vision will discipline you. The moment you see where you are going, you suddenly realize that not every action you take will get you there. Not every path you take will get you there. Your way becomes narrow, which is why the Bible says that narrow is the way that leads to life. Wide is the way that leads to destruction. The moment you have a vision of where you're going, your way becomes narrow. When you know that you want to retire by 40 and you want to be financially free, you begin to invest in assets early on, not liabilities. When your friends tell you, let's go clubbing and let's buy champagne and let's do this and waste your money, you're like, nah, I'm saving for that real estate property because I have a vision that by 40 or 50, this is what is going to happen. So, verse 2, she takes her stand on the top of the high hill beside the way where the paths meet. She has taken a position at the crossroads, at a place where people are undecided, and she's trying to help them make the right decision. So Solomon is like, you guys can hear wisdom. Wisdom is in the right location. Verse 3, let's check out her other locations as well. He says she also cries out by the gates, at the entry of the city, at the entrance of the doors. Again, this looks like a very simple verse, but it's deeper. She cries out by the gates. Why is he saying by the gates? Why the gates? You see, when you're meditating on the Bible has to interpret the Bible. So when you see something like gates, you need to go to other parts in the Bible where it has mentioned that word to figure out what the context is and what it means. So for example, when I saw gates, I wanted to know where has it been used before and what usually happens at the gates. So in Ruth chapter 4, verse 1 to 11, something happened. It says, verse 1 says, now Boaz went up to the gate and sat down there. And behold, the close relative of whom Boaz had spoken came by. So Boaz said, come aside, friend, sit down here. So he came aside and sat down. And he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, sit down here. So they sat down. And he said to the close relative, Naomi, who has come back from the country of Moab, sold the piece of land which belonged to our brother Elimelech. And I thought to inform you, saying, buy it back in the presence of the inhabitants and the elders of my people. If you redeem it, redeem it. But if you will not redeem it, then tell me that I may know, for there is no one but you to redeem it, and I'm next after you. And he said, I'll redeem it. So at the gate, redemption. At the gate, it was sort of like a courthouse. Boaz was negotiating the legal redemption of Ruth before many witnesses. So at the gate is where disputes were resolved. So when he says that wisdom is crying out by the gate, it means that one of the reasons why she has chosen that position as well is that I am strategically positioned in a place where there are disputes, when people need to make the right decisions. I am right there. When justice needs to happen, I am right there. Let me show you another one. 2 Kings verse 7. 2 Kings chapter 7 verse 1. Then Elisha said, hear the word of the Lord. Thus says the Lord, tomorrow about this time a seah of fine flour shall be sold for a shekel, and 2 seahs of barley for a shekel at the gate of Samaria. So it means that the gate is also a place of commerce. It's like a marketplace. It's a place where goods are exchanged. Your identity is checked at the gate as well. Do you belong here or not? Interesting. So wisdom has also positioned herself in a place where business transactions, business decisions are being made. This is what meditation is, guys. We could have just read, she cries out by the gates at the entry of the city, at the entrance of the doors, and kept it moving. There's another one, 2 Samuel 18, verse 24. I think this is the Absalom one, actually. Verse 24. Now David was sitting between the two gates, and the watchman went up to the roof over the gate to the wall, lifted his eyes and looked, and there was a man running alone. So the gate was also a security checkpoint to control access in and out of the city. So wisdom is strategically positioned as well to help you make decisions that will protect the city, because when you are able to see ahead and see danger coming, you are able to make decisions quickly. And then verse 3b says, at the entrance of the doors. The other things that we've been seeing, the gates, at the entry to the city, this is a public access point. When it now says at the entrance of the doors are usually used for houses. And so not only is wisdom at the public, shouting at the public spaces, it's also coming to your own personal home, your door, your life, your family, your marriage. And so after this, we've seen that wisdom, there's nothing wrong with wisdom's voice. She's loud and clear. We're seeing that wisdom is also strategically located at some very, very critical points. Verse 4 now tells us the content of what wisdom is saying. It's all well and good. She's shouting, she's in position, but what exactly is she saying? Verse 4 tells us, it says, to you, O men, I call. So that means wisdom has a target audience. She's not speaking to everybody. To you, O men, I call. Remember, Solomon is trying to, is the solution not here? So to you, O men, why is she calling out to the men? The men are the decision makers. The man is the head of the home. The men in this day and age, they're the ones who made decisions. So I'm calling out to the decision makers in this place. And it says, and my voice is to the sons of men. So I'm not just calling out to the men, I'm not just calling out to the men and the decision makers right now. I'm also calling out to the decision makers of the future. To you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. So I am trying to grab the attention of the next generation of decision makers. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this clip and you'd like to watch the entire Bible study session, make sure you click this link here. And if you've been blessed by this channel in any way you feel led to support, please consider clicking the link below. And for any amount you give, you get a free Bible study masterclass where I teach you how to unlock the 3 dimensions of the word. Literally, I'm going to be teaching you how to study the Bible in 3D. If you also feel led to support us on a monthly basis, consider becoming a member of the YouTube channel, where you get some exclusive perks as well, like becoming a part of our monthly book club. Thanks again for watching, and God bless you. See you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.